guys, here we are for our water hardness lab. Now you're going to need some supplies. You're going to need to be able to create salt water. Literally throw some table salt into a cup, stir it up. Doesn't have to be a specific amount. You could go for a saturated solution. This means no more of the salt will dissolve. You're going to need some borax. Same thing, you want a saturated solution. Pour some borax in a cup of water, stir it up, let it dissolve. Ideally, if there's a little bit of borax at the bottom, that's what you're after. I'm using rainwater and some pond water. If you can't come up with rainwater, that's a little hard to come by, skip that part. Pond water you can get. A stream, a creek, a little pond, somewhere with fish in it. Anything will do. As you're strolling around, there's plenty of places in Gainesville, you can pretty easily find some pond water, but you're gonna need that. All right, here's my setup. Now you don't have to have it all nice and neat like this, but what I've got is my regular tap water, straight out of the faucet, not filtered anything, just however it comes out. This is distilled water. Distilled water you gotta get. Publix, you can get a hold of it, it's not a problem. Then I have my rainwater, pond water. This is my salt water already mixed up, and in here is my borax. These are all the things we have. We have them all set up. Now, it tells you want to look for the clarity before doing anything. So let's take a look. Now, clarity in these guys, we're looking for how clear it is, right? Well, honestly, between A, B, E, and 2, clarity is all pretty much the same. They seem pretty crystal clear. C, it's a little bit, I've got some color in there, right? It's not perfect. It's rainwater, but it came off my roof into a bucket, so, and then my pond water. My pond water definitely has a little bit of tint to it. So anyway, rate the clarity as you would on yours between each one. Now we're going to get to the actual experiment. What I encourage you to do is kill the video now. Do the experiment on your own for yourself. Enjoy actual science. See what happens. You don't have to have perfect setup little test tubes. You don't have to have little beakers. A small cup will do, a little tiny jar. Anything you can put your water in, shake it up with a little bit of soap solution. That's all you need. And that's what I'd like you to do. Go ahead, shut it off right now, go out there and do your experiment. Now, if you just want a little bit of help of what to do, what we're going to do ultimately is this. Now, I've got a nice, neat graduated cylinder, so I can get exactly 10 milliliters of water, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put my 10 millimeters of water in. Now guys, you don't have to use exactly 10 milliliters, but this is it in a test tube, or if you have a little cup. You just got to use the same amount in every one. So what you're going to do is I'm going to put my water in it. Now, what I've got here is about a 50-50. This is 50% water. It's really more like 75-25. Sorry, I was playing around. 75% water, 25% like dish Dawn. This is Ajax, Dawn, any kind of dish detergent. You've got to water it down a little bit or it's just a little too sudsy. So 75% water and 25% dish detergent. I'm going to put 1 drop in here. Now, I don't have to cap it. I could just put my finger over it. So if you have a little jar, a little something or something in hold, I'm going to shake it up. Oh, and I'm counting in my head like up to about 10 seconds, and I'm going to let it sit. Now, it's going to foam up, and you can see it's settling out a little bit. Then I'm going to measure the amount of soap, but I've got to let it sit for a little while so I can see where my soap suds and my water is filtering out. So I would just set this off to the side, get my others set up, and then after a set time, I'll come back and measure everything. So this is what you're after. You can kind of see now where the soap bubbles are settling out, and I can measure the height, sorry, I'm on the wrong end, the height of my soap bubbles. That's the experiment. Measure each one. Softness is measured by the more soap bubbles. The more soap bubbles I get, the softer the water is. So you should go out there, give it a try, and see what you get. And I'm gonna go ahead and run the experiment. Just in case you can't get a hold of everything, I'll run through it here. But guys, turn it off, go out there, do the experiment for yourself. Even if you can't get a hold of the rainwater or something else, you're better to do science for yourself than just watching me do it. So if you really have no other options and the only way you can get the lab done is to watch me, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Here we go. Now, I'm gonna time out for a second. I'm gonna get all my stuff set up so you don't have to watch the whole process or speed it up. So here we go. All right, here we go. So I'm gonna go ahead and run through. I'm gonna put my one drop, one drop, one drop, one drop, one drop, and one drop. Now this last one, this is salt water, this one's salt water, but in this last one, I'm also gonna add 10 drops of my borax solution. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 drops of my borax solution. Now I'm going to cover them. Shake them. And then we can measure the height of soap suds. Now I want to kind of do a similar shake, so I'm going to try and do like 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, there we go. Same amount of water, 1 drop of soap each, with the exception of here, salt water with borax, and then we're gonna check the hardness levels. Ideally, I would measure each individual one. Now, my water line wound up being almost perfectly in level with here, so it makes it kind of easy. So I can look at my soap line here, my soap line here, C, D, E, almost none, and here. But if I look at this last experiment, we can see that the borax did have an effect on the salt water. Now, borax is a laundry detergent softener designed to make the water softer, and look at that. Did its job. Not tremendously. So, guys, there's the basic experiment. Check out what happened. Fill in your table, draw your conclusions. Make sure you answer on the back. All right, guys, what I did is I kind of added a little extra for my 2. You don't really have to do it, but anyway, fill out your questions, finish up the lab. I'm out of here, going home for the day. Take care, guys, and we'll see you next time.